Hi friends, my name is Krishna Akamalla. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In our previous video, we discussed about adjusted cash book and what are the how to prepare the cash book after considering all those errors happened in cash book. And in today's video, we are going to discuss about an illustration extracted from TA Institute material. This illustration majorly talks about how to prepare an adjusted cash book, and after preparing the adjusted cash book, how to prepare the bank reconciliation. This is what we are going to discuss. Without wasting much time, let us get into the problem. Okay? Okay, guys. Let us get into the problem. On 30th September 2019, the bank account of X, according to the bank column of the cash book, was overdrawn to the extent of 4,062 rupees. So, as per cash book, 4,062 rupees was the overdraft balance. At what date? 31st September 2019. Please remember, this date is very important date. On 30th September 2019, this was the overdraft balance. On the same date, the bank statement showed a credit balance of 20,750. This is the overdraft balance as per cash book. But 20,750 is a credit balance they're saying. That means what? A favorable balance. So, as per cash book, it is unfavorable balance. As per passbook, it is favorable balance. That is what it is showing. An examination of cash book and bank statement reveals the following. They did the examination, they identified the following mistakes. Number one, a check of 13,14,000 deposited on 29th September 2009 was created by the bank on 3rd October 2000. This date is very important, guys. Checks deposited when before 30th September 2019. This date is very, very important. Date is very, very important. 30th September 2019 is the date when we are preparing the reconciliation. Hence, this date is called reconciliation date. That you should never forget. So, this 13,14,000 deposited on 29th September was created by the bank only on 3rd October. That means before reconciliation date, on or before 30th September 2019, these checks were not created by the bank. That means they are not part of our passbook. When on 30th September 2000. That is what is the understanding. Next, a payment by check for 16,000 has been entered twice in the cash book. They have entered one check payment twice in the cash book. So this is the mistake in cash book. On 29th September 2019, the bank credited an amount of 1,17,400 received from a customer of X, but the advice was not received by X until 1st October 2019. So there was a credit directly deposited in the bank, but neither bank nor the customer informed X. So this is an omission in cash book as of 30th September 2000. But it got created probably after 1st October. But when we are preparing the cancellation on 30th September, this amount was not created in the bank. That is the meaning of it. Next, bank charges amounting to 580 had not been entered in the cash book. So this is also omission. On 6th September 2019, the bank credited 20,000 to X in error. By mistake, bank created 20,000 in X books. So that is a mistake from banker. Next, a bill of exchange for 1,40,000 was discounted by X with his bank. This bill was dishonored on 20th September, but no entry had been made in the books of X. I'll explain the entry. Checks issued up to 30th September 2019, but not presented for the payment up to the date total to 30 lakhs. Checks issued but not presented. You are required to show the appropriate rectifications required in the cash book of X to arrive at the correct balance on 30th September 2019. That means he is asking us to first prepare adjusted cash book. make whatever mistakes happened in cash book side to rectify it, and then prepare the reconciliation, prepare bank reconciliation statement as on that. That is what he does. So guys, as I explained previously, adjusted cash book is the cash book we prepare. We make an adjustment to the existing cash book for those errors happened in our books of account. Any error happened in our books of accounts, we will rectify in our cash book. And then we will prepare the bank reconciliation and then go to the bank. Then we will ask banker to rectify their mistakes. So we need to prepare our cash book, right? Adjusted cash book. For that, cash book, bank columns. This is very important. Why I'm saying cash book, bank columns? I already told you. Whenever we talk about cash book, that cash book is nothing but 3-columnar cash book, bank columns only. So that is the reason here they mentioned it is bank column. Number one. Number two, on 30th September 2019, what was the balance as per cash book? The balance was, one second, that is covered here. Yeah. What was the balance here? The balance was 4,062. 4,062 was the balance. What is that balance? That is the overdraft balance. Overdraft balance is a liability for us. It will be shown in payment side of the cash book. So payment side of the cash book, by balance brought down 4,000. That is the balance we got it. Till such time the topic is clear for you. And they gave the bank balance as well. That we don't bother right now because we are going to arrive the bank balance. That is a difference. Next, an examination of the cash book and bank statement reveals the following. A check of 13,14,000 deposited on 29 September 2019 was credited by the bank only on 3rd October 2019. We deposited, but the bank did not clear. That is not our mistake. That is a banker is yet to collect. So that is not a mistake in our cash book. So we should not rectify our cash book. When do we rectify our cash book? We rectify our cash book only if that is a mistake in our cash book or if that is omission in our cash book. In these two scenarios, we rectify our cash book. I'm repeating again. When do we rectify our cash book? Only when there is an error in our cash book, commission. And commission, this is not regular commission. When there is a mistake committed in our cash book. Second part, when there is a omission in the cash book. If something is not written in the cash book, but written in the passbook, that is called omission. Those omissions also we will rectify. So in this particular case, a check deposited, but not credited by the bank. That is not a mistake from our side. So we don't require to rectify that in our cash book because this was already recorded in the cash book correctly. It was already recorded in the cash book. Then as soon as we deposit the check, we go and record in receipt side of the cash book. So that is already recorded. That is not a mistake. So you don't need to rectify that cash book. Clear? Next, a payment of check for 16,000 has been entered twice in the cash book. This is the commission mistake. A payment of check, payment side twice they recorded. Suppose if this is the cash book, they recorded this is payment side, this is receipt side. 16,000 they recorded twice, payment side. So if you want to rectify this, you need to debit another 16,000 so that this will get knocked off and you will end up with only 16. So since it is recorded twice here, what you are supposed to do, you need to debit your cash book with 16,000. Correct? So see here, two-party account, 16,000. Clear? We paid to supplier account. You can say no need to say party account also. You can say supplier account. When do we make the payment to the in cash book? When do we write in payment side of the cash book? When we make the payment to the suppliers, right? So you can say by to supplier account, 16,000, and you can rectify. Are you clear so far? Next, on 29 September 2019, the bank created an amount of 1,70,400 received from a customer of X, but second, lines are creating problem. Let me repeat again. On 29 September 2019, the bank credited an amount of 1,70,400 received from a customer of X, but advice was not received by X until 1st October 2019. One customer went and deposited in our bank, but neither bank nor the customer did not inform us. Since they did not inform us, we did not record in our cash book. That is called omission. I omitted to record. Why I am omitted to record that? Because there is no communication neither from customer nor from the bank. Because of which I did not record. So that is called omission. That omission has to be rectified now in adjusted cash book. So that is nothing but a receipt for us, right? So receipt side to customer account we will put, and 1,17,400 we will write in debit side. Are you clear now with this? Right. Bank charges amounting to 580 had not been entered in the cash book. So bank charges are recorded in passbook, but not recorded in cash book. This is also omission. So this omission has to be recorded in our cash book now, because we are adjusting our cash book, right? So I need to record that. Where do I need to record? Bank charges are payment to me. Bank charges are payments to me. So I need to record in payment side. So 580 rupees by bank charges, 580 by cash book I have written. Are you clear? Next. On 6th September 2019, the bank credited 20,000 to X in error. By mistake, bank credited in 20,000. Are you getting my point? By mistake, bank credited. It is a banker error. It is not our error. And it is neither an error nor an omission from my books. Why? It's wrongly recorded by the banker. So I don't require to write in my books. So it is not neither omission nor an error from my cash book side. It's an error from passbook side. So that guy will, banker need to rectify that. So you don't require to worry about this 20,000 because it is not a mistake in your books. It is not a omission in your books. So you don't require to record or rectify this in your books of accounts. Clear? So ignore this 20,000. In adjusted cash book, but reconciliation we will do. In adjusted cash book, we don't require to adjust because it is not an omission, it is not an error. Next, a bill of exchange 1,40,000 was discounted by X with his bank. This bill was dishonored on 28th September 2019, but no entry had been made in the books of X. Guys, this entry, I will write an entry right now and show you. But when we start discussing about bills chapter, I will explain in detail about it. Right now, when the bill got dishonored, that means what? Drawee did not make the payment to the bank. Then drawer has to pay to the bank on behalf of the drawer. When I say on behalf of the drawer, what drawee, what drawer will think about it is, I have to receive this amount from the drawee and I have to make this payment to the bank. I have to receive this amount from the drawee and I have to make this payment to the bank. So what entry we need to write? I have to receive from the drawee. So drawee account debit. Why drawee account debit? Drawee is in receivable position. You need to receive from drawee. So drawee account debit. Receivable is an asset. So drawee account debit and I have to pay this to bank. It is a liability. Liabilities are credit balances. So I need to credit bank account. Very simple. What is the entry? Drawee account debit to bank account. Why drawee account is debited? I have to receive this from drawee and I have to pay this to bank. So drawee account is debit, bank account is credit. So bank account credit side, I need to write by drawee account 1,40,000. You can use drawee or a customer. Here he written as customer account. You can write drawee account as well. Because if the name is given, you can write with the name as well. So don't worry about that. So this 1,40,000 I created. Next. Checks issued up to 30th September 2019 but not presented for the payment up to that date totaled 30 lakhs 26,000. This particular point is not an error, is not a omission as well. Why? You issued the check. Supplier did not present that check in the bank. It is supplier problem. What banker will do? Banker can't do anything unless supplier go to bank and collect his amount. So banker will make the payment only if the supplier submits. So it is not a mistake of banker. It is not mistake of you as well. Why it is not mistake? You issued the check. As soon as you issued the check, what you would have done? You would have written this in payment side of the cash book. You would have written this in payment side of the cash book. As soon as you written the transaction payment side of the cash book, your job is done. There is no mistake. It is not a omission. It is not an error. So your job is done. You don't require to adjust this in your adjusted cash book. That's all is adjusted cash book. What you are supposed to do, add this. When we add, it is coming to 1,44,642. Put that 1,44,642, balance it, and our cash balance is coming 11,242. This 11,242, two balance carried down, by balance brought down. Two balance carried down, by balance brought down. What is this two balance carried down, by balance brought down? Cash book balance should show the debit. It is an asset, right? It should show the debit. But two balance carried down, by balance brought down. Brought down balance is coming under credit side. If the brought down balance is coming in credit side of the cash book, that means it is a overdraft balance. Still, it is showing as a overdraft balance of 11,242. When he gave that overdraft balance, how much he has given? 4,062. After making all these adjustments, your cash book balance has gone up to 11,242 as an overdraft balance. How, on what basis I'm saying that it is overdraft balance? Two balance carried down, by balance brought down. By balance brought down is showing credit. Bank balance always should show a debit balance, if it because it is an asset. If it is showing credit balance, it is a liability for us. When that will become a liability for us? When it is an overdraft. Beautiful, guys. Start thinking like this. Will never commit a mistake. Right? So this is our overdraft balance. Are you clear now? So adjusted cash book balance is done, and that adjusted cash book balance is showing overdraft balance. So here overdraft as per cash book 11,242. So we are taking cash book balance and start preparing adjusted cash book balance and start preparing bank reconciliation. As I said previously, what do? We prepare cash book, passbook. This is cash book, this passbook. This is debit, this is debit, this is receipt side, payment side. This is payment side, this is very simple. Every time you write like this. Since we have taken adjusted cash book balance 11,242, that is a liability. So 11,242 we will write in credit side of the cash book, and we need to put question mark on passbook. Why question mark on passbook? Since we have taken base as to 11,242 cash book balance, you need to put the same balance here, 11,242, and put question mark on passbook. Now the rule is, if the question mark balance is increased, add it. If the question mark balance is reduced, subtract it. That's all is the rule, right? Now let us start from the beginning. A check for 13,14,000 deposited on 29 September was created by the bank on 3rd October. See how they will mesmerize us. He's saying it is already created by the bank. But when did they create it? They created on 3rd October. But when are you preparing the reconciliation? You are preparing the reconciliation on 30th September. Is this check deposited has been created by the bank on or before 30th September? Answer is no. Since it is not created before 30th September of 2019, how that is going to appear? 13,14,000 is the check deposited, right? It is a receipt for us, 13,14,000. As soon as I deposit, I record that as a receipt in my books. Immediately I deposit it. But banker has to collect before 30th September. He did not collect. Since he did not collect, he wouldn't have recorded here. Now what is the balance? See, this is a credit balance. There is a debit. So when there is a debit and a credit, the balance will come down. Question mark balance you have to check. Since this has come down, this would have been increased. So question mark balance is increased. So you have to add checks deposited but not collected up to 30th September, 11 lakhs, sorry, 13 lakhs, 14,000. Very simple. Now, next point is we'll delete this. 13 lakh 14,000 job is over. We will go ahead with the same figures now. A payment of check 16,000 has been entered twice in the cash book. That has been already adjusted in the adjusted cash book, because it has entered twice in the cash book. The mistake happened in cash book. That cash book adjustment we have done in adjusted cash book. Since we have already done in the adjusted cash book, you don't require to bring it in reconciliation. Why? Because you are taking adjusted cash book as the balance. This adjusted cash book balance is inclusive of this amount. This adjustment is already adjusted and arrived this balance. So you don't require to consider this in reconciliation because it is already adjusted in the cash book, and I took adjusted cash book balance only for reconciliation purpose, so you don't require to take that. Are you clear now? Next. On 29th September 2019, the bank credited an amount of 1,17,400 received from a customer X, but advice was not received by X until 1st October 2019. What happened to this? What did we do here? One person went and directly deposited in bank. Neither bank nor customer informed us. So what we did, we adjusted that in cash book. Do you remember? We adjusted that. How much? What is the amount? 1,17,400. See here. 1,17,400 was already adjusted. Since it is already adjusted and we have taken adjusted cash book balance here, you don't require to bring that in as a part of reconciliation now because this is already adjusted in cash book. Because there is no mistake in bank. It was an omission in the cash book. That omission has been rectified. So it is not going to be part of our reconciliation. Hope you are clear on this point. Next. Next one, bank charges amounting to 580 had not been entered in the cash book. This is also omission. We have already entered here. 580 was not entered in the cash book, but when we were preparing adjusted cash book, that amount was already entered. And we arrived this 11,242 after adjusting bank charges. So again, you don't require to bring that as a part of your reconciliation because these are all already adjusted in our cash book. Next, on 6th September 2019, bank credited 20,000 to X in error. This has to be recorded here. 20,000 by mistake they recorded. Who recorded? Banker recorded. Where they credited in our account. So 20,000 they created here. Because of which this balance has come down. Question mark balance has been reduced. Since the question mark balance is reduced, you need to subtract this. Here, checks issued but credit by bank erroneously on 6 September 20,000 is already recorded. Now, next one. This we will remove. Next, go back. A bill of exchange 1,40,000 was discounted by bank with his bank. The bill was dishonored on 28 September 2019, but no entry had been made in the books of accounts. I already explained the entry. What entry I explained? Raw E account debit to bank account. This is the entry I told you. And this entry is already posted here to the extent of 1,40,000 here, right? So this is already adjusted in the cash book. Since it is already adjusted in the cash book, it is not going to be part of my reconciliation. Why it is not going to be part of reconciliation? I already adjusted in cash book and I took the adjusted cash book for the purpose of reconciliation. So there is no need to again bring this point in our reconciliation because it is already rectified. It is already rectified. Next. Next point. Checks issued up to 30th September 2019 but not presented for payment up to the date total 13,26,000. 13,26,000 checks issued. As soon as we issue the checks, we record them in the payment side, right? 13,26,000 we recorded in payment side, but they have not created till 1st October, right? Checks issued up to 30th September but not presented for the payment. They have not presented for the payment. Sure, supplier has to go to bank and present it, right? He did not present it. Since he did not present this 13,36,000 wouldn't have 13,26,000 wouldn't have been recorded in passbook. Are you clear? Now this balance is increased. But which balance we need? Question mark. Question. This is increased. That means question mark balance is reduced. Since question mark balance is reduced, I need to subtract this. So checks issued but not presented for the payment up to 30th September 2019, 13,26,000. I did that. Now, what I'm supposed to do? 11,242 plus 13,14,000 because it is an add, right? So I added these two and it has come to 13,25,242 and these two I need to subtract. I subtracted from this, then I got 20,758. That is what the balance they have given here as per passbook, 20,000. That's all. This is what is the credit balance as per bank statement. Here, guys, one important point I wanted to remind. Do you remember I told you in my previous video, if whenever this is the unfavorable balance, overdraft balance is nothing but unfavorable, right? Unfavorable balance. When it is an unfavorable balance, when it is an unfavorable balance, when we get here, actually it is a negative balance. It is coming as negative balance because here it is, since they kept a minus here, you are not seeing that 20,758. So actually this 13 lakhs 25,000 minus 13 lakhs 26,000 minus 20,000 is coming to 20,758 minus value. This, whenever you get minus value here, that means what? Unfavorable has become favorable balance. Unfavorable balance has become favorable balance. This is what I told in my previous video. Please refer that. So this is a favorable balance. So that is the favorable balance we received the problem as. So I hope you are clear about this topic, because this favorable and unfavorable, if you don't understand, I sincerely request you to refer my previous video. And if you still have any doubts, please update your comment saying that, Krishna, I did not understand this favorable and unfavorable. I am ready to, shoot one separate video only to explain again favorable and unfavorable. But you need to go through this video and let me know where exactly you are struggling to understand the concept. I can definitely help you out in terms of clarifying the doubt. Are you clear? That's all about this problem, right? So thank you so much.